Welcome to Armchair Expert. I'm Dan Shepard. I'm joined by Monica Mouse.
Hello.
Hello. We have a great guest on today. He was a guest that we heard on Howard Stern and just thought we must talk to him. In addition to being fans of his prior to that, Colin Jost. Colin Jost is a comedian, an actor, and a writer. He's been a writer for Saturday Night Live since 2005 and Weekend Update writer since 2004. You will see him host Weekend Update, where he does an incredible job with his partner, Michael Che. So he also has a new book that recently made it onto the New York Times bestseller list, and it's called A Very Punchable Face, a Memoir. A Very Punchable Face, a Memoir. And if you like... Memoir. What'd I say? Memoir? Oh, geez. Here we go. We're not even in the fact check yet. Can't you tell me in the fact check I messed up the intro? He has a lot of funny pooping your pants stories. That's just the little teaser I'm going to give you. So hope you are in the market for that and enjoy Colin Jost. We get support from Quince.
So we've been talking about Quince a lot lately, and as we head into fall, it's the perfect time to reset your wardrobe with their amazing pieces. I think it's so fun to do when the seasons turn over to just spruce up your wardrobe with a couple specials, and Quince is the place.
Totally. We're talking organic cotton, Mongolian cashmere, tailored chinos from just $60. Premium fit and quality you'd expect from a luxury brand designer. I love Quince. You know, I like it understated and subtle, and I like stuff that has high quality. And Quince checks all those boxes.
I love a lot of stuff from Quince. Honestly, they have incredible premium denim, which is very important for fall. It's pretty much all I wear in the fall is denim. And Quince has such a good selection of quality denim. Their stuff is so versatile, timeless, and built to last that you just grab every single day without thinking.
Right. And all of that for 50 to 80% less than similar brands. They go direct to ethical factories, cut out the middlemen, so you get all that quality without overpaying for it.
We love that. And they do way more than clothes. They have bedding, cookware, bath essentials, travel must-haves, same deal, and great quality.
Upgrade your everyday. Download the Quince app for app-exclusive offers or go to quince.com/Dax. Get free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada and the UK too. That's QUINCE.com/Dax.
We get support from Skims. Oh man, do I love Skims. I've been living in the Skims lightweight cotton collection all summer, and I have to tell you, getting dressed has become so easy. I just throw it on. It just feels right immediately, whether I'm grabbing coffee or I'm on the couch all day or I'm out, even going to dinner. The cotton is so lightweight and breathable, which in this heat is a non-negotiable. The cotton jersey t-shirt, I just need everyone to know about this one. This one hugs in all the right places. It's very soft and it still looks and fits the same after months of washing, which is very hard to do, I feel, with t-shirts. I've been wearing the black cotton jersey t-shirt with basically everything all summer long. It goes great with any patterned skirt or shorts or pants. I mean, anything truly. I believe that's probably my favorite piece from the cotton collection, but they also have great lightweight cotton thongs that are so comfortable and they're cute. That is a very, very hard mix to achieve, especially with undergarments. I feel if you can find some that are cute, but also comfortable and do the job, that is a win. And Skims has really, really figured that out with the lightweight cotton collection. Shop Skims Cotton and all of my favorite pieces at skims.com. After you place your order, be sure to let them know we sent you. Select podcast in the survey and be sure to select Armchair Expert in the drop-down menu that follows.
He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert.
Oh my gosh.
In the flesh, but not really, but kind of.
Look how cute you are.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Oh my
You guys are adorable too.
We just had Dave Franco on, and I was saying, you know, that guy could cut your wife's head off, and then that smile, he hits you with it, and you're like, my God, what a
Yeah,
pleasure
it's over.
doing business with you. And I got to say, yours is...
Yeah, this is rivaling.
Yeah, it's in the same zone.
Okay.
Great, I'll start chopping heads off. Let's do it.
Don't you love, as someone who's funny, like, don't all you want to be in life is hot as fuck?
Yeah. As early on as a kid, yeah, you're like, wow, that would be a great Because it's such a thing you can't switch, you know.
You
when
can't
you're-
practice being good looking. I mean,
No. When you're a kid, you're like, I can get smarter. I'm working at it. I'm trying to get better grades.
uh-huh.
I'm trying to get better at writing and math. But these other kids, they're just like hot guys.
If you do pull an all-nighter, odds are you're going to look worse. So it's actually,
Yes.
inversely related.
After all-nighters at work, anyone I was dating was really horrified to see me come home a husk of a person, emotionally, physically.
Oh,
It was never a good time for them.
I was re-listening to the Stern interview and I was playing it for Monica. You were so great on Stern the other day. Really good.
I was terrified, like I had never done it before. And he's a guy, obviously, I grew up listening to and watching, like late night, whatever it was, reruns on E, whatever it was.
Yeah. The weird video version he had.
Yeah, the video version. I realized as I'm saying it, I don't even know what was that a rerun? Was that happening at 9 a.m. and then being replayed? But I loved him so much, and it was, it's nerve-wracking to do it. I was very grateful he liked the book because then I was less worried about going into some kind of buzzsaw and I having no sense of where he would be coming from.
Well, I had flown in from LA the first time I did it, and I stayed awake the entire night preparing. I was trying to anticipate his questions about my sex life or about Kristen's vagina or anal sex. And I'm thinking of every permutation of Kristen's body and how I'm going to divert him off that topic, right? I mean, I couldn't sleep. And I have to imagine you were doing the same thing, like, oh, this is going to be all about Scarlet.
You make it sound like a great exercise. He forced me to just contemplate every position. Yes, of course. Your mind goes to, where is he going to go? And you certainly don't want to volunteer. Like, I'm also happy he didn't say, what was the worst question you thought I was going to ask?
Yeah.
Because it probably was worse than whatever he had in mind.
I just stumbled accidentally. Once he found out that I had been such a bad addict that I had been kicked off the Conan O'Brien show, that was tasty enough for him to get off of sex, right? And then I think magically what you did was I think he was so interested in the shitting the pants stories that he just really lost his original aim.
That's my addiction. That was my addiction.
That was your,
and
yes.
and he found it out. You lead with the addiction.
And can I tell you the reason we're talking is because I heard you and I said to Monica, we have to get Colin on because I have 100 shitting my pants stories, maybe more. I'm like, this is a fellow fisherman at sea.
Oh yeah, I'm so happy this will become my legacy.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Like every author dreams of.
Yes, all the great authors.
This is the Great Gatsby for pants shitting.
Well, you majored in Russian literature. Dostoevsky couldn't go 4 days without shitting his pants. I think everyone knows that.
Oh my God, yeah, he would do it on a dare to make money between books. I love that he constantly lost all his money. Then he's like, I better write a novel. So he's like, it's so funny that something like Crime and Punishment was probably written because he needed money for more gambling.
Pay off a gambling debt.
Yeah.
I looked at Crime and Punishment. I was like, not a chance. What is that, 700 pages or something? But The Gambler, we're looking at 100 pages. And I read it and I was like, oh, I've never understood the mind of a gambling addict. And I fully do now. Like, I'm living inside of that head. And this guy's a genius at allowing you into someone's head like that. And then I made my way through Crime and Punishment. And about halfway through, I was like, oh, this is the greatest thing I've ever read in my life. And I think I know what it feels like to kill somebody and wait to get discovered.
Yeah, yeah. And you don't even have to necessarily do it yourself. I mean, that's not to discourage you. I don't want to, but you don't necessarily have to. It's funny how the mind of a gambler, I guess, stays pretty consistent, and it's just the game or whatever they're gambling on that changes. I don't know if it's his like whist.
Yeah. Some weird Prussian parlor game.
And then it could be horses, or then it could be poker or blackjack or whatever. Whatever it is, the mindset's very much the same. It's just whatever you're doing.
Yeah, but the novel aspect for me was like, oh, this obsession of this fairy tale of getting even. But that's the story they're all telling themselves. If I could just get even, I could quit this thing. And getting even's not probably mathematically possible at some point. You're going to go above it or below it, or you've set a goal. Your exit strategy is unobtainable. And that's fascinating.
It's not a great long-term plan. The other one I'll say too is the one that I read it's also short. Notes from Underground is another one that he wrote, and it's like a great intro one because it's super intense. It's maybe like 100 pages. it's so relevant now. It's all about this guy who's like off in his own world, super angry at society, totally misanthropic mind. And he's so in his own world and is creating this whole conspiracy against himself and society. And
Yeah.
it feels very much of today.
It sounds like the plot of Joker.
Yes, it is essentially. Honestly, it's kind of Joker.
Yeah.
It's Joker before Joker.
I was watching Joker. They paint such a detailed picture of like that experience in the 70s. And I actually thought for the first time, maybe video games are awesome. Maybe that type of person now has this outlet for aggression and the isolation feels communicative. And it maybe there's more options for people that are of that inclination. I don't know.
Yeah, they play Call of Duty and they're like, I've been called to duty.
Yeah.
I have a purpose. I have a purpose in life. Here's how my aggression's getting out, and I'm doing it for honor and for country.
Yes.
You know?
And I've killed virtually 1,200 people today, which feels like a tenth of a real person. And that's enough for me to not do it.
Facts probably say otherwise, right? Because there's more shootings
Stats,
now.
scientists, sure.
Yeah,
Stats and scientists disagree. But come on, who wants that?
Who needs that?
cares about that?
Huey, what a stinky
Yeah.
opinion.
All right.
Oh, yeah, you probably wear masks too. Jesus. I have a good Joker story I just remembered. I went to see Joker in the theater, and I was alone in New York, and I was like, you know what? I hadn't seen it. I was going in Times Square to go see Joker after work or something. So I went, and I was like, it was the winter, and I was like, well, I don't want to go in alone into a theater. And the off chance someone recognized me, I don't want to just be like exposed alone in the middle of a crowded theater.
Yeah.
So I had a coat on,
Oh, geez.
hat down. I go in right when the movie's starting. I get a seat and like I sit down, and then 10, 15 minutes into the movie, like past previews, the movie started. Two people come in and they're like, excuse me, sir, we reserved this seat online in advance. You're actually in our seat.
Okay.
And I was like, whoa. And I was in the middle of a row. And I was like, there were other seats too. I was like, this movie's already started.
Yeah.
I think you've lost your seating privileges. And then in my mind, I'm thinking, you're about to see the Joker. Do you really want to fuck with a guy who's in a trench coat alone in Times Square watching the Joker?
Yeah.
You know, I was like, this is not your battle.
I'm staying away from that guy. There's a lot of red flags there. I got to say, you just made me think of one of my bigger hurdles getting over being recognizable in public is that I loved eating by myself and I love going to movies by myself. It's two of my favorite activities. And I got all of a sudden so self-conscious about that. Like, they're probably like, God, I would have thought that life would be more fun. I would have thought that guy had a lot of friends. You know, I just start filling in this narrative for everyone that's seeing me.
You're basically, you know, not just blowing it for you, you're blowing it for the idea of Hollywood.
Oh, 1,000%.
They're like, this is what it is now, I guess.
An iconoclast just by going by myself.
This is
to
the best it gets.
Sharky's Pizza or whatever the fuck it's called.
Shakey's. Yeah.
Well, there's Shakey's Pizza, but I was actually thinking of Sharky's,
There's also
the wood
Sharky's?
fire grill, which is a healthy
Oh.
chickens and stuff. It's great. I'm in there
Oh.
by myself all the time. You could see me at any moment.
We're clearly operating at different pizza levels. Where I'm like, have you heard of Shakey's?
Weirdly enough, I got invited to this gal's party 15 years ago, and we went, and she was throwing a party, but she was only renting the guest house, and it turned out she was renting the guest house of the Shakey's Pizza family.
Whoa.
And they're on, I don't know, 11 acres. They have a fucking pond with swans and stuff. The Shaky Pizza people.
It's the best now that we're getting into an era, and that's even a highbrow relative to other ones, like the Shakey's Pizza heirs.
Yeah.
You know, the people that take that over. And it's going to get so much weirder when you go down the line of TikTok fortunes
Oh my
and all these
God.
people.
Yeah.
You know, the like Johnson & Johnson people are like, wow, this has really gone to shit.
Oh, yeah. Or you're on the East Coast. When you guys would go south, I imagine you grew up in Staten Island. Did you guys like go on a yearly vacation to Florida?
We went to Disney World,
Mm-hmm.
and pretty much the only place we went were parks out west. We would like fly to Denver and then just drive around.
This is why you love Teddy Roosevelt.
It's among many reasons, yes, of course. Yeah, it's so funny. The book comes out, and I'm like, Teddy Roosevelt, who I learned about, and launch got delayed and it comes out the same week. They're like ripping down the statue of Teddy Roosevelt. Where I'm like, oh wow, I didn't know that was going to sync up so well.
Yeah, no reference is safe, I don't think, at this point. Okay, so you're from Staten Island, and your mom's a doctor, and she worked for the fire department, and your father was a teacher, and you were a very bright kid, and you went to a special school that I presume you've tested into or at some point.
Yeah.
And then you were commuting this insane distance, public mass transit, prior to Malcolm Gladwell's tipping point with them turning around the subway system, right? It is like a graffiti-laden, people smoking crack. It's quite a commute, right, back then?
Yeah, it was definitely, I'm sure, better than it was in like the 70s in New York. But it was still like, still in the early phases of let's clean up our act kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And it was long, as a kid, more at night. It's the weirder part. Coming home, the sun sets at 5 o'clock or something. And so I would usually be coming home at 7 or 8 or 9, and usually alone if you're that hour. I would commute in with other kids from Staten Island, but then you didn't sync up your schedules coming back. So you'd sometimes be alone, and that was pretty weird, like intimidating.
Yeah. So I'm 6 years older than you, and I took a road trip there when I was 18 to New York, and we wanted to go to Harlem, and we went at about 2 a.m. And a gentleman on the subway car said, hey, do you mind if I smoke? And we were like, of course not. We were smokers at the time. And then he pulled out a crack pipe and started smoking crack. And I was like, okay, this is great. It's kind of what we wanted to see, but also a different kind of smoking we were expecting.
Also, wow, most polite crackhead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you
What
can.
a gentleman.
I didn't know that was the style. Like just pardon me, sirs. Might I partake?
Would anyone be offended if I enjoyed some incendiaries right now?
Some Shucky's brand.
That just made me think, though, that you're from that area. Did you read the first Tycoon by chance?
Yes, the first second is the Vanderbilt.
Yes. Cornelius.
Had no idea that, first of all, he's obviously from Staten Island, builds this crazy empire. That Cornelius Vanderbilt was, I think, adjusted for inflation, like the fourth richest man in history.
Yeah, I think he was the first to $100 million back when the total GDP of the country was maybe like 900 million.
It was like 200.
Yeah, like I think he had
Yeah.
discernible percentage of the overall wealth of the country.
And he's the most Staten Island guy in retrospect because his business started with ferries, which I think is the thing we're most known for. And then the other part that I didn't even realize the lineage of, which is that he then leads to Gloria Vanderbilt, who I always heard as this, high society name in New York. And then that Anderson Cooper
Yes.
is her grandson, right?
No, that's his mother.
That's his mother, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's his mother. So that Anderson Cooper is tied to Cornelius Vanderbilt, Staten Island merchant, whatever, empire guy. I think empire guy is the preferred term.
Yeah.
And I had no idea that odd connection.
Yeah, and he was just so blue collar. That's why I liked him. And then, as a kid, I had gone to the Biltmore House in North Carolina. Did you ever go there in Asheville?
I don't think I ever went.
Sounds like
to
a trip your
Biltmore
parents
House,
would have taken you on, because it's just beautiful, Blue Ridge Parkway. It's beautiful mountains, and then Asheville's this cute town. And the Biltmore House, which I had visited as a kid, was the Vanderbilt money, and I assumed it was his, but then come to find out after reading the book, it was his children built the biggest house in America with his money. They just fucked it all up in one generation. Yeah.
Classic kids. Yeah. I'm sure if my parents are listening to this now, they're going to be really upset they didn't bring me there now that you've called it out, and they're like, oh, we missed this cultural opportunity.
Well, I hope they feel deep shame and remorse.
The place, if we're talking about weird places to visit, the place I will plug that I went to randomly in Delaware, in Wilmington, was Winterthur, which is the estate of, I think it was the DuPonts owned it.
Oh, sure.
And it is a madhouse. You go in, it's like 100 rooms, and each room is a completely different style of American, design. And then in the middle, the coolest thing is in the middle of the house, they got one of the DuPonts bought 4 different old homes, like from the New England.
Okay.
And took the facade off of all 4 and built a room in the middle of the house where those are the 4 walls.
Oh,
Whoa.
my gosh.
And it's a cobblestone floor. So you go into the middle of the house and it looks like you're in a courtyard outside in New England. In the winter, they have like fake snow that comes down, a Christmas tree. Kids go in to like hear a story. It's this magical, weird room. That's really cool.
That sounds very ripe to go do mushrooms in.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I think they distribute them. I think that's part of the. Yeah, they're going to be really happy about that plug, except for the mushroom, the disappointed mushroomers. The other great one, sorry, that we're talking about. This is what happens when you're a stand-up comedian. You have the day free, and so you really get to explore the things that Museum of Death. I want to go check that out, all that stuff. But the other great one is outside of Phoenix, Arizona. There's this place called, I think it's called like the Magic House or the Crystal Castle, whatever. It's something like that. And it's this guy from, I think he was from Washington State. He got sick and he didn't tell his family, his wife, kids. He was just like, you know what? I'm just going to get out of here. I'll figure it out on my own. He goes to Phoenix to help his lungs. They're like, oh, I guess he wandered into the ocean with stones in his feet or something. And then he goes to Phoenix and he buys this old plot of land. And as his lungs start getting better and he beats this illness, he just starts collecting rocks, gems, pieces of glass, stuff he finds, and he just starts building his own house.
Oh, wow.
From what he digs out of the ground, including like precious metals, whatever. And he finds like gold and he finds treasure.
Wow.
And he built in this crazy, beautiful house he's built out of all these things. He builds like a secret chamber with a treasure chest. And he lives there and he starts drinking heavily with locals. And he builds a bar in a like Goonies style dumbwaiter that brings him drinks. A lot of it's alcohol related. And then eventually, after like 10 or 15 years of doing this, he writes a letter to his family and is like, surprise, I'm alive. So they're like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And he goes, hey, why don't you come by? I built a house.
You're invited.
And then he's like, but I don't trust you, so you have to live in my house I've built for a year before I tell you where the treasure is.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
And if you're that wife, you must have been like, what? Fuck you, dude. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to get the treasure after that.
The drinking doesn't surprise me. This is one of the most addict-y stories I've ever heard. Like, I would have been able to predict that guy was a hardcore addict just from the onset. He could not have been vulnerable in front of his family. That was unacceptable.
Better to just walk to Phoenix. Yeah.
Yes, and then construct a home out of precious metals.
But it's actually a genuinely cool house to see, and you're amazed that a human could slowly build it himself.
Yeah. That weirdly interests me, if I'm being dead honest. That seems like a cool goal to have.
I'll find the link and send it.
Thank you.
It's worth it. It's worth the trip. If you got an hour to kill on the way to the Phoenix International Airport, check it out.
So in this accelerated gifted school you're going to that then lands you in Harvard, throughout that whole course, what was the goal? How did comedy present itself? Hold on, I'm going to pause you. I just want you to know, because I've read part of your book, that you hate talking about yourself. So it's the greatest premise for an interview. So I already know you hate this.
That's great. Can I just talk about more castles I've seen?
Well,
handmade castles.
I'm trying to build enough of that in there for you as little like breathers. I'll bring up other patricians and stuff. So
in my mind now, you'll know I'm building a small castle out of the story in order to distract myself. I didn't have a specific goal. I think with comedy and performing and writing, my goal was to make sure I always was around other people who did it, and ideally had a job doing something in that world.
Yeah.
And I had a sense enough, which we both know, obviously, how much of a crapshoot this industry that we are now in is.
Yeah.
And I think even starting out, I thought, I don't know where this is going to go, but if I have some kind of job with people that are funny, I'm going to be happy doing that, whatever it is, at least starting out. That was the goal, to do something in that world. And then, of course, over time, your goals change.
But at some point, you get yourself into the Harvard Lampoon and you become the editor, yeah?
It's funny, the National Harvard Lampoon connection is such a strange one, because most people, if they hear I was in the Lampoon, they're like, oh yeah, he did National Lampoon. Like, but people don't even know the sort of origin of it. And I didn't, of course, but there were people who were from the Harvard Lampoon that started the National Lampoon.
Oh, like post-graduation, they wanted to...
Post-graduation in like the 60s, 70s, it was kind of the same people that were doing Spy magazine and like early, really important comedy things. Like, and National Lampoon did a yearbook, and then they did the movies, and they did those, what I grew up thinking were the classics like
Oh, yeah.
the vacation movies. And then I don't know when it is, somewhere in the 90s maybe, all the people that did all those classic things that we loved sold it.
Oh,
And so then there was no longer a comedy connection. It was like a different, unrelated business entity.
yeah.
So like then anything that comes after that period is not really tethered to any comedic taste in the same way. So like something comes out now and it might say National Lampoon, but it has no correlation. But that's now the brand everyone knows.
yeah.
You know, it's a very weird thing. So yes, anyway, so that happened a long time ago. So I was on Lampoon writing and I became president of it when I was a junior there.
I think I was talking to Mike Schur about it when I interviewed him. And I guess my fantasy of what you did is that you went to Hogwarts. And Schur was like, you know, it was awesome. And it's not Hogwarts. And it's just another place you find yourself. And you're like, oh, this is cool. But none of these accomplishments really end up infusing themselves into your self-esteem or your identity, right? It's like you're waiting for something magic to happen because you've arrived at this place you can't imagine you could have ever gotten to. And then there's really no accompanying feeling of like, boom, I'm awesome. Or was there?
I will say, to me, it kind of was Hogwarts.
Oh, good.
Wow.
Good.
Like truly, but not in a way I got there and I thought I was awesome. The opposite. I got there and I was like, oh, there's real wizards. You know what I mean? Like I'm not one, but there are, like when I started there, like the kids who were a year or two older than me, who were now, you know, have written for great shows, running great shows all over, were just the funniest people I'd ever seen. And it was like seeing magic in the sense of that sounds lame, but they were so fucking funny that I was like, oh my God, I wish I could be that.
Yeah.
So it was both Hogwarts and very deflating because, you know, I thought I was relatively funny among my friends and I could make my friends laugh. And then you suddenly meet these people that are like super funny and intimidating.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God. It's the same as when you start as a comedian, you go to some place like the Comedy Cellar or the Comedy Store and you're like, okay, I'm getting my feet at this. And then you see people who are already at the top of their game and it's sort of demoralizing. I understand what Mike's saying about it, but also for me, I like preserving that memory because, you know, it's so rare you ever get to feel that. And it was like getting into this crazy thing and it changed my life. You know, I mean, I never would have known about this as a potential craft and profession if I hadn't gotten in there. It was so much more than I even expected that when I started applying to write at a magazine, you know?
Yeah. Did you have the awareness? Because I have to imagine it's the very fastest track to being considered for employment as a TV writer is to have been a Harvard Lampoon writer.
I bet there's a good correlation. I think there used to be more of one than now.
Oh, okay.
I bet if you looked at sort of the stats of it, I bet in like the 90s, there was probably it was like a great track.
Yeah.
And now I don't know if it necessarily correlates. And I think there's probably a lot of people that write there now and go do something else, like become lawyers or become whatever, something unrelated.
Yeah.
The crazy advantage you have coming from there is the people that are really doing it. You spent almost your whole college career just writing comedy and performing, but you've basically just done that and intensively with other people who think that's an acceptable way to live your life.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty rare in college that you have an organization that the infrastructure for that, where you're putting in all those Gladwell style hours
Yeah.
before you actually start in the world, you know?
Yeah. Was SNL your first writing job?
No, I worked for a newspaper. I was a journalist and I wrote
Oh, for
a
Staten
local
Island.
newspaper
Yeah.
on Staten Island.
Yeah.
I started commuting back home.
You shit your pants, put it in the mom's washer, and didn't. Yeah.
You know, shit my pants here and there to keep them honest.
Sure.
And then I got a job writing in an animated show that was for Nickelodeon, but I think it never aired or then aired on like a subsidiary of Nickelodeon. It was called Kappa Mikey, and it was a mix of Japanese anime and American pop art, I guess is how it was described to me.
That's great.
Pop art cartoons,
Yeah.
like a fish out of water where an American pop art character
Yeah.
gets cast in a Japanese anime sitcom. And the title is Kappa Mikey, which I guess is a play on Kappa-maki, which I
Oh my
still am not
God.
even aware is a type of sushi, maybe.
Oh,
Oh
boy.
my
All right.
goodness.
And
Wow.
the characters in it, I mean,
Talk about
And
another
so we
great
were-
mushroom thing.
please. It's like a thing that I think is only available on physical DVDs that are not set for the region we live in. They're like region 3. It's like only Eastern Europe, but it's set in Japan. It's just nothing makes sense about it. It's so I did that for a while, and we had to write full half-hour episodes of it, and we had no idea how to do that. There were obviously some issues perhaps with the show, character flaws, and
Sure.
and I think as it was going, Nickelodeon was essentially losing all confidence in the idea of children's programming.
Do you remember the inciting incident? Because I got to know that. How did the pop artist end up in that fish out of water scenario?
God, that's a great question. I think it was kind of a Mr. Baseball setup where
Perfect.
he was a star in America and they bring him to Japan and it's all going to be, gravy. But is it?
Yeah,
It turns
yeah.
out there's an adjustment period.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. You've heard us talk about BetterHelp for a while, but I don't know that we've ever talked about how much people love this service when they use it. BetterHelp has an average live therapy session rating of 4.9 out of 5 based on over 1.7 million client session reviews. And you can check out the reviews yourself at betterhelp.com/reviews to see how much they love BetterHelp. Knowing that kind of service feedback from real people speaks for itself. I'm a huge proponent of therapy, as we've talked about before. I've learned so many things about myself that I believe truly only an outside objective person could help me come to. BetterHelp makes it easy to get started. Answer a few questions, get matched with a therapist based on your needs, and switch therapists at any time if it's not the right fit. See the reviews, see what stands out, and see if BetterHelp is right for you. Visit betterhelp.com/Dax. That's betterhelp.com/Dax. This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. We've talked before about Rob building our website on Squarespace, and I bring it up again because it's a perfect example of what they do well. Rob had all the pieces, the content, the vision, the ideas, but he needed something to actually take all that and make it public facing. And Squarespace was that bridge. Maybe you're in the same spot. You've been developing something, a business, a skill set, a body of work, and it's been private. It's been yours, but at some point you're ready to put it out there, and that transition from private to public can feel like a huge leap. Squarespace makes it feel like a step. Beautiful templates, built-in SEO, email campaigns, scheduling, analytics, everything you need to go from I've been working on this to here it is, come find me. All in one place, no code, no stitching together a bunch of different tools. So if you've been sitting on something and waiting for the right moment, this might be it. Head to squarespace.com/DAX for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code DAX to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. This episode is supported by Helix. All right, let's talk about something we both really care deeply about: sleep.
It's the most important thing. I've had my Helix mattress for years now, and I genuinely think it's one of the best investments you can make for your home. Mine still feels just like it did when I first got it.
Well, that's the thing. It's not one of those mattresses that caves in after 6 months. These things are built to last. And I'm a side sleeper. I ordered a side sleeper and I get hot, so I have cooling. And I can't tell you how much more comfortable it is to be in there, not sweating and tossing and turning.
Cooling is really important. I've read that you're supposed to sleep a little bit cold.
Mm-hmm.
So I also have cooling. And they have over 20 models, so it's not a one-size-fits-all situation. You just go take their quiz and they match you to what actually works for your body.
Plus, they've got cooling upgrades, which heading into summer, non-negotiable.
Truly.
Go to helixsleep.com/armchair for 20% off. That's helixsleep.com/armchair for 20% off. Make sure you enter our show name after checkout so they know we sent you. helixsleep.com/armchair.
Thank you to our presenting sponsor, HP, for supporting this episode. Parents, you've got enough on your back to school list right now. Ink cartridges do not need to be on it. They just don't. The HP Smart Tank printer uses a refillable ink tank and comes with up to 3 years of ink included. It's the last printer you'll ever need. To learn more, search HP Smart Tank.
Right when I read the introduction of your book, there's a couple things that immediately I so relate to. One is you got a great quote.
Yeah, it was Joan Didion.
I don't know what I think until I write it down.
Joan Didion, she's a writer I really love. Her memoirs are really incredible. And I read her in high school first and then kind of just on and off throughout my life. She was in LA for a long time. And she wrote a really great thing about, I think it's called The White Album, about being in LA right before all the Manson murders.
Ooh.
And what the vibe was there. And she said she almost wasn't surprised by the murders. Like it felt like that kind of thing was coming.
Oh.
And the way she sets it up and sort of, sets the scene for that is cool, a perspective from that era.
Have you seen that documentary? It's about this guy who owned this health food store on Sunset, and then he created his own cult. The most fantastic ending of all time. This guy takes his cult all over the place. They end up in Hawaii. Out of nowhere, he wakes everyone up and says he realizes that he's been wrong. And then the next day he realizes, no, he was right. And then he's going to prove it by not parasailing, wind gliding, or what do you call it?
Paragliding?
No, that's the safe one with the parachute, where you have a wing.
Parasailing? like
geez.
squirrel suit vibe?
Squirrel suiting. Yeah.
Isn't that a thing?
Yeah, it is.
Hang gliding.
Hang gliding. Yeah.
Oh.
So he goes, I'm
We got there.
gonna demonstrate that I'm touched by the Lord, and I'm gonna hang glide off the side of this mountain in front of all you, and I've never ever tried it. And then they just all gather, and he just jumps off and then fucking dies.
Oh my God.
It's incredible and it's real. But yes, that's the
Wow.
kind of stuff
He delivers.
That was the context in which Helter Skelter comes to fruition. Because people were like, they were testing the boundaries of all things here in LA in the 70s.
Yeah. Wow. That's a great, I guess God's doesn't exist, right?
Well,
He really proved it.
That was my takeaway. I know you're Catholic.
I wonder if all those people were like, wow, I guess, woof.
We've
do we
been led
bet on
astray.
God?
I hope there was one comedian there that really took the piss out of the whole thing after he landed.
Yeah. It was immediately like, I think that went well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yelling after, we still believe in you.
This doesn't change a thing for me.
What I really loved about that quote is, you maybe also can relate, is you have all these things swirling in your head, and sometimes it's really hard to get them out in a way that makes any kind of sense. And you go back and forth and you see all sides of something. And then when you actually sit down to write it, you feel like you're actually putting your thoughts on record in a way that's more structured or more, that's a little deeper, and you feel like I can stand by it. There's obviously a balance because you want to keep it conversational and you want to keep it, to me, it was always trying to get back to what's the tightest version or the funniest version of telling the story, so that just on an entertainment level for people reading it, because I think of that when I'm reading always, like, how do you get to it like the fastest you can? But I think you stumble on how you really feel about something when you have a little distance from it and you go back and you reflect and you write about it.
Yeah, I just related so much at the time that stuck out the most is my father died, and about 3 months after the event, and I was there for the whole shebang, and I still was having no emotional connection to the event, and it was very confusing to me, to the point where I remembered like, oh, I know the solution to this. I have to write this experience out, and I did, and then I was reading it to my wife, and then all of a sudden, all these emotions I had no attachment to were just all right there. Like it finally made sense to me in some way that opened me up emotionally to it. And I've had many experiences like that through writing that are amazing.
Yeah, it's a way for you to organize both your thoughts and your emotions about it.
Yeah.
And kind of how to face your emotions when you're in situations like that.
So then I'm wondering too, if we have any similarity in your line saying, I have always been writing a book in my head, right? Or I'd always known I wanted to write a book. And I too have had that since like 12 years old. And I know a lot of it is just straight narcissism, that I thought it was important enough that someone should read my thoughts. So that's probably number one. But
Sure, of course.
But number two is this love affair I had with books, as have you. And I think what I loved about it is I'm going to school and I have friends, but I'm also feeling like no one's having the experience I'm having.
And then I would find these books that felt safe in that, oh, wow, yeah, another person's contemplating this stuff, or they're questioning the rules of life and society. It gave me companionship for thoughts I thought no one else had.
Yeah, and as you're saying that, I'm realizing the other element of it that's not in the book is I've always kind of felt in a almost famous way, like the movie, where I've always felt slightly removed from a lot of the situations that I've been in and that I've been going through. I've always a little bit felt outside of what's happening, not fully in it. And that's why I think I've been able to write about some of those episodes with clarity, because I felt that sense of being removed, of not really belonging, but having enough of an outsider's view of it to be able to write about it.
I'm talking too much about myself, right?
No,
Is that what you looked at
everything's
me?
great.
Okay.
Guys, things are great.
You know what it is? You know what's happening?
Things are great.
You want to know what's happening interpersonally? Is I think you're a great writer, and I want you to respect me. And
I can tell that is what's happening.
That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Really?
Think, yeah,
Oh my
I think
God.
you're a really great writer, and I want you to think I'm a good writer, or at least am interested in writing for the same reasons as you, even if I'm not good like you.
It's sweet.
I think that's exactly what's happening.
It's nice
Oh,
that you
come
can
on,
see it
get
and
outta
admit
here.
it.
I've always respected you and always heard tremendous things about you from Seth, too.
Oh, I love him.
Of Seth Meyers, who loves you too. So he was always very high on you always, and so your reputation preceded you.
Oh, wonderful. He's another person I desperately wanted to think I was smart.
Of course, yeah, me too. Still, that never goes away. I think you're like, oh God, I hope I'm okay.
So when you thought your life would ultimately lead up to you writing this book, at that time, of course, didn't know that you would end up being the head writer on SNL or write there for 15 years or be the host of Weekend Update for 6 years. What was the reasoning you thought, you should write a book? I don't know how else to ask it.
Right. Honestly, the only reason I thought I would write it, especially write it now, is I thought the stories would be funny. That's the only thing I really want people to take. I wasn't trying to write a particularly inspiring book or really educate people. I hope that people read it and there's certain things that they learn about SNL, they learn about comedy, they learn about stand-up. I do think if you're a comedy nerd, you'll learn things.
Yeah.
But the real reason I wanted to write it was there were enough chapters where I thought, oh, I think this story is funny. And I think people would laugh at it and would be entertained to read it. They would read it and be like, oh, I'm glad I heard that story.
Yes.
And, there
yes.
were enough of them that I thought, oh, I could do this book. And that was the backbone of it. I think people would think that the backbone of the book is behind the scenes at SNL or whatever my origin story is that I'm getting to it. But in my mind, the backbone is the really weird stories, like getting seriously injured at a virtual reality incident at Google or having Jimmy Buffett save my life while we're surfing. Those, to me, those are actually the backbone of the book, because I'm that's the kind of thing I want people to read.
How did you get injured at Google? And what an ironic place to get injured.
It's a long story that will elicit too much anger from me to tell. I do think if people listen to the audiobook and you listen to that chapter, you will hear violent rage in my voice to this day.
Oh,
When I
boy.
retell that, you will sense how angry I still am. This it immediately conjures up that anger.
That's
of
great.
How negligent the people working there were, how dumb, how truly dumb they were. And the fact that it's at Google, I have a quote at the beginning of the chapter that says, you should have sued, which is every friend, and I quote every friend I tell a story to. Even now, friends of mine who read the story for the first time after they read it go, you should sue. Genuinely, why are you not suing? And it's real. It's a really great corporate negligence moment.
Is it just the perfect intersection of their overconfidence in their genius?
Yes, I'm not going to give them the credit of the genius part of it. I'm just going to say overconfidence. Maybe they were so smart that it went full circle and they came back around to full idiot,
Yeah.
But they really, oh man, it was really dumb. And of course, any friend I told it to had zero sympathy for me. I went to the emergency room and had stitches and an MRI, bits of chunk of my bone floating around under my skin. My friends could not stop laughing. They were like, I couldn't even finish the story. They were crying, laughing at me.
Yeah. Oh, that's lovely. Now, I know you told it on Stern, but our audience is almost the opposite Venn diagram.
got a lot of gals.
Yeah, it's mostly gals, but I have weeded out the weaker ones. I tell so many poop stories that you couldn't have made it to this episode if you were allergic to them. I'm going to hit you with ones as an act of good faith, okay?
Please.
Okay,
please.
so I moved into a new house 15 years ago. It has an extra fridge in the garage. That to me is what rich people had. I was so thrilled to have an extra fridge. I went to Costco. I bought a pallet of drinks that I had never had. I buy all these drinks I don't normally ever consume, and I discover I love Pellegrino. And I'm drinking like the big liter one every night, and it's like my cocktail hour. I'm into it, right? I'm at Home Depot. I'm building a fence in my backyard. I bend over to pick up all this lumber. And I think I can fart, and then I just fill myself. I just fill up, and I am so far away from the bathroom. It's the opposite end of Home Depot. And I'm aware of that there's cameras, and I'm also aware of that I'm on TV. So I'm trying to walk to the bathroom, and there's just so much. And I'm like pinching my bottom of my legs and
Tying off the legs. Oh my God.
tourniqueting the legs.
Tourniqueting, we say in this business that we're in.
Into the shit that your pants business.
Yeah.
And I make it to the bathroom, and like you, I have to ditch the underwear. And then this doesn't occur to me till later, but conveniently there is a full-size trash can in each stall of the Home Depot. I later realize, oh, this is happening around the clock at Home Depot. Obviously, why else would there be full-size trash cans, right? It's a really humiliating one. It's so humiliating that when I get home, I go, you're so arrogant. You have IBS and you're just ignoring it. So I go online and I learn about an IBS diet. I start this IBS diet. I'm a week into it. I have a friend come over and visit my new house, go out to the second fridge. Hey, would you like a Pellegrino? He goes, oh man, I can't drink those. I shit my pants when I drink Pellegrino. And I go, oh my God, that's what's been happening for the last 3 months. And then I stopped drinking Pellegrino, and by God, it all cleared up. But I had self-diagnosed myself with IBS, and I was just kind of wondering, before you tell one of your glorious ones, has it ever occurred to you that maybe you had IBS, or have you tried like a diet or anything?
Well, let's get to that, but we just have to do a quick break to thank our sponsors, Pellegrino.
That is
Pellegrino. Some people can hold it down. And Home Depot, thanks. Please don't use the display toilets at Home Depot. Thank you for using the real bathroom.
Putting full-size trash cans in public bathrooms since 1996.
Oh man, Home Depot. That is a long walk. Luckily high ceilings. High ceilings though for the smell. It's good. It doesn't let you.
And no one's in the wood aisle, thank God.
Okay, your turn.
Yes, your turn. So you're golfing.
Well, I'm gonna go rogue. Because I just remembered another story that's unrelated. Would you like to hear that?
Yes, a novel proprietary story.
Oh my God. I was on a double date.
I like where this is starting.
Double date with a new girlfriend and another couple. We went to see a movie. I can tell you that this will really date me because the film was Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Oh, great movie. Really liked it.
Yeah. It was hard for me to focus. So me and other couple, we were all walking to the theater. I'm like, oh, I just have to pee. I'll meet you guys in the theater. The other three go into the theater. I go in to use the urinal, and then while I'm there, something sneaks out the back while I'm sort of taking care of business in the front. And then I'm like, oh my God. So then I go into the stall, lock the stall. I'm like, I just got to get this cleaned up and then get back in there. And I sit at what is, I guess, miraculously, a malfunctioning toilet that essentially goes like one of those automatic ones that starts shooting water up.
Oh boy.
And it was like violently off, like not working well. So as I'm attempting to like kind of sort of clean up, this thing is exploding upwards every couple seconds. Every time I lean forward, it explodes upward. And it's so what I thought I could get away with it. Instead, it's like just spraying everywhere. I'm in the movie hasn't started. I'm in there for like 20 minutes while my date is with another couple, probably having to make excuses like, oh, he probably went to get us some stuff at the snack bar, whatever. And then I eventually get out of there, go into the theater, sit down, and it's winter, so I take my coat off and I sit next to her, put my coat over me.
Of course.
Say, I'm feeling a little cold.
Oh, boy.
Then I say, I'm actually super cold. Can I borrow your coat?
Oh, wow.
No.
I borrow her coat, put her coat over my coat,
Oh.
and then we watch the entirety of Kiss Kiss Bang Bang in that
Oh.
state. Afterwards, I excuse myself and say, I'm really not feeling well. I think I should sprint away from this movie theater. And I do that, and that was really kind of the end of the courtship.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, when you're on minute 19 in there, you must be
Yeah.
evaluating like best case scenario. They think I've just taken a long dump. I mean, that's as good as it's going to get.
Best case scenario, yes.
Best
and
case
that's
scenario.
when that's what you're praying for.
Yes.
And that is also it was basically like, the scene in the old I Love Lucy episodes where all the chocolates are coming and they're trying to like eat the on the conveyor belt. It was
Yes.
that level. It was that level of physical comedy, perhaps in reverse, with this toilet going off. Like it was truly, you wouldn't believe it as a bit on television. It was so.
It was a
perfectly
set piece.
cartoonishly timed.
You were involved
a
in a
set
set piece.
That's what I've discovered, and I guess that's why I wrote the book. I've been involved in like 20 great set pieces in my life that would all go great in a movie, and I want people to know just the set piece with none of the
jump to it.
heart, none of the heart of the movie. Yeah,
Yeah, no redemption. Just
no
the lowest
redemption,
point.
no heart, just the set pieces.
Oh, my gosh. I have a quick question because you started by saying that you don't like talking about yourself. Why is that? Are you just private?
Yeah, I think it's probably, I talk about it a little bit. I'm sure it's a little bit an Irish Catholic. I'm Irish Catholic and German, and those are both pretty repressed, emotionally repressed.
Except
people.
for
And
with
so-
shit.
That's
Germans
true.
love
Yes.
to talk about shit.
Which they do.
Yeah.
They do. That is there's a scatological bent within that culture, yes.
Yeah.
And
Love it.
and so I think that's where it comes from. I don't know. I like, it's easier now. It's actually been fun doing this when the book comes out because I can talk about the book and it's fun. And I always like talking about what I've worked on that has a story to it. It's just weird when you're talking about yourself in a vacuum. That's the part that feels weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not promoting a book, and look how much I talked about myself, and I feel great. I never felt better.
Well, there's also there's perhaps a reason I have lots of anxiety inside. I'm not doing the same thing,
Were you at the Chappelle
His award, the
Mark Twain Award?
Yes.
Yes, and
Yeah.
you were with Michael Shea, right? And you made this amazing joke, and I want you to remind me of it.
Yeah, it was really. First of all, that whole weekend was so cool. Like being there, it was such a fun, and it's got to be the most fun Mark Twain award ceremony. I mean, the whole thing started with Morgan Freeman singing a Prince song with a giant marching band. I mean, that's pretty awesome. So
Yeah.
so we went down there, and we didn't know that we were even going to be presenting or saying anything. Like we were just going to be supportive, and because we love Dave and we wanted to be there, and we were happy to be invited, and then when we got there, they were like, it might be good if you guys did something kind of just, you could just speak from the heart and
Oh,
say
boy.
something, and then we're like, oh, even more nervous.
Yeah.
That's not really what we do. And then so that day, like, probably an hour or two before, me and Che and Keenan were kind of texting, like, what are you going to say? Or what are you going to say? And Keenan went first and was really thoughtful and really and learned so much from Chappelle and looked up to him for so long. And it was really sweet. And on behalf of SNL too. And Che went second and also really super funny. And that, he knows him well, but also sweet, like ended really sincerely about how much Chappelle meant to him through the years. And then it went to me and I was like, and I'm here to talk about Mark Twain.
Yes.
And it was like white guy bringing it back to Mark Twain. All my friends, all the comedians in the afterwards came up to me because they know everything that, like, they know the inner workings, all these things, but they didn't know what was happening. And they all kept telling me how scared they were for me. As it led up to me, they were like, holy shit, what is Colin going to say after this? It's going to be awful.
My thoughts in order were, why is he on that stage? This is a mistake.
Yes, correct. Totally correct. Yes.
And then even more importantly, now that he's there, why is he ending it? He should
Why
have
is he
started it. The
anchoring
guys
it?
would have topped it. Each guy would have topped it. But he's now got to top those two things. He can't.
But you did.
But you did.
I started reading a passage from Mark Twain, and then I was like, oh, some of the language I really can't. You know, you get it, guys. And I kept saying how Mark Twain, that's comedy, like that's funny, you know, and trying to remind everyone there. But as it built, you know, I know what's coming. And as it builds, you know, as Keenan's talking and as Shay's talking, and they are doing a masterful job.
Yeah.
It's a real all or nothing moment.
Oh, it's
either that moment hits or it is brutal.
Yeah.
And it really was. I was so relieved and so happy that it worked.
Is that the best laugh you've ever gotten of your career?
I would say it's probably the biggest laugh I've gotten in my life.
Yeah.
I think so.
And most rewarding, like to look up and see Chappelle laughing.
Oh my God. I felt so relieved.
Yeah.
And on top of just being there was like a crazy treat.
Yeah.
And then that worked. And, you know, it's in front of all your idols who are there. And it's all, you're in front of Jon Stewart, and you're there, and also all your peers, like you're there with Michelle Wolf watching, and Lauren's there watching, you know, and you so don't want to blow it, and also you want to make them laugh.
Yeah.
And the fact that they afterwards were like, that was awesome. I mean, that really was like a great moment in my life.
Yeah. Yeah. Making heroes laugh is a tasty, rare, wonderful feeling.
Yeah. And also, I so rarely ever feel that, you know, like I so rarely am. First of all, I rarely am doing comedy around the people, like all these comedians because, you know, I'm really usually in our studio audience at SNL. So to have the chance and to not totally blow it was cool.
Now, the other thing I thought about when I was thinking about you being there for 15 years and having gotten 500 sketches on the air, again, I'm going to relate myself to you, even though I have no business doing it. But when I was in the Groundlings, my entire life was mining for sketches. And it was, you know, insufferable for my girlfriend at the time. If we're at a restaurant and a guy just puts his pen away in an interesting way, I'm like, oh my God, I think I could build. Yeah. And then what's he do? Does he put the silverware weird? You know, like you need to fill that fucking furnace. Is that your life? Are you on scan? Have you figured out how to turn that off? Like, what's that part of your life?
I never really turn it off. I mean, I still definitely write down, if not every day, then most days, an idea for a sketch. Every day, there's something that goes into a file for stand-up, or that goes into a file for sketches, or goes into a file for a movie I'm working on. You know, that's constant. But the SNL part of it, you know, we're always among the cast and the writers, like we're texting each other ideas for sketches in the summer that just because it's exciting to think about, and a lot of those sketches will eventually eat shit at the table read and not work, but you're always kind of doing it. And by the way, I think most people who work at our show for a while are also still thinking about sketches years after they're on the show. I mean, people still from the 70s and 80s, like Dan Aykroyd, will sometimes just send Lauren a sketch idea.
Wow.
You know, he's like, what about this? Or I thought about this. And it's funny. And you're like, wow, he's still in that mindset and still sees things sometimes through that lens, or knows when something could be right for the show. And he's someone that was obviously wrote a ton of stuff for the show in addition to being in the cast. He was like kind of one of the best of doing both of those things. So he, you know, the fact that he still has that in his brain makes me think it'll probably never be out of my brain. I'm sure I'll be doing the same thing, and Lauren will be probably rolling his eyes at my ideas in a way that he still treasures Dan's. There were so many writers at our show who were great performers, who weren't performing on our show and then went on and were, you know, like the people that went through, like I talk about some of them in the book, like J.B. Smoove, Jillian Bell, Tim Robinson, Mike O'Brien. Like there's a whole wave of these writers who were...
Oh, so Tim Robinson was a writer?
Yeah, and wrote, you know, some of the funniest sketches, and then a lot of what his show was, you know, I Think You Should Leave.
It's
show,
the funniest sketch show I've seen in 2 decades.
So funny, and it's like a perfect sketch show. there's some of those sketches that he wanted to do even on our show. Some of them are really fun in a whole other level because you're like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
how was that not on our show? It's so funny.
Yeah, he's amazing. All right, I want to ask you a couple juicy questions. I am not going to ask you to tell me who, but I am going to ask you, what's some of the worst behavior you've seen from a guest host?
A guest host, worst behavior is disappearing, for a couple days is pretty bad behavior, I would say.
Okay.
Considering it's only a week. That's pretty bad behavior.
Yeah, when you miss 40% of the work.
Yeah, missing things. The missing things is the hardest because all these people are putting all this work in on designing a set. They're getting costumes together, and if you're not there, that's pretty crazy behavior too. I mean, that almost never happens. But
Yeah.
I would say that's bad. Bad behavior. I mean, there's drinking. I never even know. I'm also bad at identifying certain things. Like someone might be like, "Oh, they're on pills." And
Yeah.
I'm like, I would never have guessed that. But some people know that, it can identify it better than other people, and I'm not the best at that. But being some version of inebriated or out of it to the point where it's detrimental.
Can I guess who told you who was on pills?
Yeah, please.
Polar.
Maybe at the time. I don't know if that doesn't. I wasn't specifically thinking of her, but
Her and I's big preoccupation in life is texting each other who we just realize is on pills.
that's really funny. It's such a specific. The term "pills" is so seems so broad yet so specific.
Oh, she and I
They're
know
on
exactly
pills.
what we're talking about. The voice is altered. One of the eyelids is blinking off syncopation from the other one.
Polar is uniquely also can really get to the heart of what's going on and can distill it down to this is what this is.
Yes.
In a way almost no one else can.
She and I have this blue collar chip on her shoulder where we're like, we got you, man. We see your fucking angle. It's all about here's their angle. I got it. And let me warn you about it. Oh, it's great.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
We are supported by HP. If you're a parent or you know one, like I do, or you can help take care of kids, you already know what August feels like. It's not summer anymore, it's the pregame. The supplies list, the forms, the "we need this printed by tomorrow" texts that come in at 9 p.m. And I say this as someone who's been on the receiving end of those texts in a former life. You're ready to help, and then the printer says no, out of ink, blinking at you, useless. It's such a small thing, but it will absolutely derail your night. So when I heard about the HP Smart Tank printer from HP, America's most trusted printer brand, I thought this is the kind of thing that actually makes life easier, not in a big flashy way, in a one less crisis way. Instead of those little cartridges that run out the second you need them, the HP Smart Tank uses refillable ink tanks, and it comes with up to 3 years of ink included. 3 years. That's 3 back-to-school seasons without the cartridge panic. HP can't fill out the forms for you, but they can make sure the printer is never the reason you're up past midnight. Search HP Smart Tank.
We get support from Apple Gift Card. Back to school is here, and for many, that means some big life transitions. Whether they are heading into a new grade or setting up a dorm for the first time, you want to give them something that actually supports their growth and success. Apple Gift Card is a versatile solution because it takes the guesswork out of gifting. It's not just about a new pair of AirPods for focus. It's about giving them the invaluable chance to choose the digital tools and subscriptions that suit their unique journey. They can use it for productivity apps on the App Store, movie nights on Apple TV, or extra iCloud storage for all those new memories. With Apple Gift Card, it's so empowering to give the students their freedom to allocate their own resources. Celebrate their new academic chapter. Visit applegiftcard.apple.com to celebrate their milestones and gift one today. We are supported by Auto Trader. All right, if you've been putting off car shopping because it sounds like a whole thing, buying your car online on Auto Trader makes it way easier, really. You can shop tons of cars online, compare prices, check financing and trade-in options, all from wherever you are. And if you want to start online and go to the dealership for a test drive, you can do that too. Really, what I like is the flexibility. Start online, finish at the dealer, or the other way around. Your info stays with you, so you're not starting the process from scratch. Plus, you're working with local dealer listings, so you've got real people helping behind the scenes. And when you're ready, you can pick up your car or have it delivered. Really. Buy your car online on AutoTrader. Really. This episode is brought to you by SoFi, the all-in-one finance app where you can bank, borrow, and invest all in one place.
Let's talk bank accounts for a second. The average bank savings rate is 0.39% in interest. You're earning pennies on your savings, but it does not have to be that way.
With SoFi high yield checking and savings, the money barely making moves sitting in your savings account can earn over 8 times the national average savings rate with eligible direct deposit.
No account or overdraft fees, which feels rare these days. You can get your paycheck up to 2 days early, perfect for getting ahead of a bill or grabbing what you need right when you need it.
Plus, get up to a $300 welcome bonus when you sign up with eligible direct deposit. Sign up for SoFi checking and savings at SoFi.com/armchair. SoFi checking and savings is offered through SoFi Bank N.A., member FDIC. Terms apply.
Okay, this is a bit of advice I imagine would actually transcend this whole conversation for people who are in a position where they're either managerial or they're leading some kind of process. You have to have discovered in 15 years a beautiful system for letting people know that their idea is not that great. Have you gotten good at supportively weeding out bad ideas?
I've worked at getting better at just being straightforward about it as much as possible.
Okay.
Like I had to work at that because there were definitely years where I didn't want to be the bearer of bad news.
Yeah.
Or I didn't want, it's hard because there is a balance of some of it is you genuinely don't always know or you don't see it yet or something. You know what I mean? There is that part of our show, actually part of being in a managerial or head writing or producing position at our show is having the self-awareness and the humility to recognize that you don't always know what's going to be funny, what's going to work for an audience, what's going to be the hit of the show. None of us actually know that. And you have to always remember that. And that's also why you have to take chances on things that you don't completely see or don't totally understand, or they're outside of what you would write or how you would, frame something.
Yeah.
And part of being there a while is letting go of the feeling like you need to control everything or you need to understand everything. Some things are just, their own sort of their own gems that people discover. And so that's a big part of it. So you don't always know, but there's times where you think I really, as much as I can know, I don't think this is going anywhere.
Yeah.
And I've gotten better at telling people this just might not be the best use of your time.
Right, because you're not doing them a favor.
Yeah, if you really see this and you really believe in this and you think this is the thing you most believe in for the week, go for it, because I'm not going to say absolutely not and pretend but consider that it might not, it's an uphill battle for these reasons. And I'll try to be honest about, here's the problem I anticipate with the host part in this. Here's a problem I anticipate with the structure of the piece or how many sets it has, or why is this 4-page sketch of 8 sets? That seems like things like that can actually be problems. Things like that I just try to get ahead of, troubleshoot some of the issues at least, or say talk to some other people, see what they think. If I'm discouraging you, don't let me be the only one. Talk to some other people and see what they think too. Maybe I'm crazy.
Yeah. Well, I would imagine too, it's performer specific in cases, right? Because I remember watching sketches that Tracy Morgan was in, where I was like, well, I wouldn't know how to write that, and I wouldn't even know how to give notes on it. It's like, why don't you bounce out of that green spacesuit and show me that fat ass? That's all that needed to happen. It didn't need to,
You might be in trouble if you did write it for him.
Exactly.
You're like, why would you write that?
Because he can say it and I can't. I want to hear it said.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing that I'm really happy with what you do is race. In that, among my black friends and I, we never tire of exploring all these little differences, these cultural differences. I find it always interesting. And I feel like you and Michael Shea have figured out just the most brilliant way to still fuck with that world and do it like flawlessly, where no one's getting punched down upon. No, there's some brilliance to the way you guys do that.
I think it's a delicate thing because part of it is like tonnage. You don't want to be overdoing anything. You want to have awareness about what's going on. You want to not make it all about that. You want those moments to be special in a different way. And I think a lot of sketches that have been on the show that were some of the best of the last year or two deal with those issues, talk about them, get at them in I think a really honest way, and in a way that allows performers to get into it in an honest way too. And I think those are some of the most successful sketches of the last couple of years.
Well, it's surgery. You must feel really proud when they work because it is so precise.
Yeah, when they click, like when the first premise of a sketch like that clicks, and you're a little bit relieved, like, oh, the audience is going to go with us on this.
You know how they write each other's jokes? It's like a bit they do. He and Michael Shea write each other's jokes, and Michael is always just trying to fucking get him canceled. And it's just, it's just, you've come up with a mousetrap by which it's perfect. Like, it's brilliant. It's actually giving Michael the power, which I like. And it's artful. I like it.
The crazy thing, too, is at dress rehearsal, there are different jokes. So at dress rehearsal, they're often not related to race.
Okay.
And then suddenly, at air, they are. Miraculously.
And then my last thing I just want to say is, for me personally, most of my big growth in life is when I've identified another like-minded person and I create this dual identity with that person and I feel safety in that. And it's allowed me to be at my most confident points when I've felt like two of us are shouldering something. And I wonder if that's what you and Michael have. I love that he came to your defense when that stupid fucking article was written about you. I just feel like there must be something really special there.
I was like, which one? I don't know. No, it's great. I mean, I really feel less anxiety when I'm with Michael about the job, about any job. Like anything we do together feels easier and more fun. And I'm just less worried about what it's going to be. And I'm more on board to try whatever we're going to do. And that's a very powerful feeling.
Isn't there almost a fail-safe where even if this thing crashes and burns, you two will walk off stage and you will laugh with each other so hard about what a fucking turd it was that it's almost as rewarding as crushing.
Absolutely. And that's why you pair up with people at work when you write. And that's why certain cast members and writers work together. You have this thing together where you want someone else there to remember these moments and laugh about these moments with, because, there's definitely at least 50% of them that are tough or not what you expected in some way. And again, it goes back to why I thought about this path in general in life. And I never thought of it as a solo journey. I never thought about it as I'm going to go do this thing. I always thought about it in the context of I want to be surrounded by the people I think are the funniest and work with the people I think are funniest, because that's such a happier existence than trying to do it alone.
I have eaten shit as doing stand-up, and there's no one to go commiserate with. It's just straight terrible.
No, other comedians will happily make fun of you.
Yes.
Mostly to your face, and then even more viciously behind, not to your face. But otherwise, you're alone.
All right. Well, obviously, I need to mention you're engaged to Scarlett. I've met her a few times, and I mean, if I hadn't found the best woman in the world, I probably would have dedicated my life to trying to become engaged to her as well. I mean, you really got yourself an amazing gal.
That was your career goal. When you said
Oh, by far. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I feel very lucky. It's nice. I mean, it's again, going back to the talking about yourself. It's also a thing that's weird to talk about, but it's
Well, it's even compounded, right? I feel like, oh my God, am I cashing in on her success by, like there's almost like an ethical fear of mine. Like, I don't want to be drafting on her popularity.
yeah, but you did enough before that I hope you know who you are and what you've done.
Well, none of my fears and insecurities are all that firmly rooted in reality. As I suspect most
that's
people's
fair.
aren't.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You never go to your therapist and they're like, yeah, wow, that makes sense. You should be really anxious about that.
Yeah.
You should maybe a little more worried.
The fact that the title of your book is A Very Punchable Face, I can just objectively say that you do not have a punchable face, but I can definitely believe you have a punchable face. I would never argue your own delusion with you.
Yeah, I think that's an accurate assessment. Correct. Yeah.
Well, Colin, you're awesome, and we appreciate your time, and we wish you a ton of luck. Everyone should definitely go buy A Very Punchable Face, or if you don't like reading, do the audiobook and you read it. So that's always a wonderful outcome.
At least everyone will know I can read, and I guess someone could be whispering the words into my ear.
Well,
and then
many people can write and they can't read.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So check that out. I think the audiobook's fun. I've never listened to it again because, again, why would I listen to myself talk for whatever that is number of hours? But I think it's going to be good.
Not to bring it back a third time, but maybe on shrooms you could really have like some kind of
Oh, yeah.
like real ego shattering, like
So sponsors are Pellegrino, Home Depot, and mushrooms.
and mushrooms, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
So-
whatever that castle was.
So, but
Oh, yeah. Whatever that castle, magic or crystal castle.
listen,
Mystery Castle. It's called the Mystery Castle.
Mystery Castle. So listen, everybody,
Yes.
go do at least 2 grams of mushrooms.
No, we
Stop
can't
at Home
say that.
Depot.
We are not saying that. We are
Grab a
not saying
Pellegrino
that.
and plop yourself down on some lawn furniture you bought at Home Depot and listen to A Very Punchable Face by Colin.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
All right. Appreciate it.
And now my favorite part of the show, the fact check with my soulmate, Monica Padman.
This episode is brought to you by ServiceNow. Look, I have my dream job. I get to talk to folks I admire like crazy and ask them virtually any question that I want to. I can't imagine a better way to spend my time. But even dream jobs have some not so dreamy parts, the stuff that gets in the way of the actual work. Now, that's where ServiceNow's AI specialists come in. They don't just tell you what you should do about your busy work. They actually do it, start to finish. Cases closed, requests handled, no extra work for you. So you and your team can focus on what matters most, which for me is, are they obsessed with male bodies on the same level as I am?
They never are.
To learn how to put AI to work for people, visit servicenow.com.
You know what I really don't like about my email?
Tell me. Well, really quick, can I answer that?
Yeah.
Everything to my knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Well-
What specifically, though?
Well, wait, what do you mean?
I know that your email is a huge source of anxiety in your life. Rightly so. You get 1 trillion emails a day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not accusing you of anything.
Sounds like it.
Oh, man. We're really touchy because you just had a joke that didn't go so well.
It went great. You just weren't paying attention and you're the only one here. Oh.
Listen, I was in a time of need and it was no time for jokes.
I wish you would take a sip of that medicine, you know?
Oh, believe me. Yeah, just because I'm guilty of it doesn't mean that you weren't also guilty of it. I was trying to spell the word writhe. I'm disabled. Okay.
And I spelled it for you. And then I made a joke. Yes, I did.
You did? I said
Yes.
WRITH and then you said E. And then
And
I
I
typed that.
said just E.
You said just E. And you were expecting a big reaction, but I was typing E at the time. And I missed your joke. And then you were immediately mad at me. And now you're still kind of, you're still, what do
Well,
you
you
call it?
accuse me of being upset about my email when I have every reason to be upset about it.
No, I didn't accuse you. I observed that you hate your email, as you should. You get 1 trillion
get
emails.
too many.
You think it's me subtly implying you're ungrateful. I know that's what it is. That's the thing that it triggered.
No, yes, and that felt like you were saying I lie about that.
No,
Or like I complain all the time about it or something.
Not at all. No. I know how you feel about your email. I know you super well.
Right.
And
But
you fucking hate it. It's like, how do I feel about PT Cruisers?
you hate them.
I hate them. I'm not always complaining about
It's not
it.
really the same.
It is identical. I'm not
No.
always complaining about PT Cruisers, but you know how I feel about PT Cruisers.
Okay. That's true. All this is true.
Okay.
Okay. But that really what? You know what?
Tell me.
I'm going to delete all this.
No, you don't. You dare.
I have to.
Why?
Because no one cares.
Everyone cares. They love when we bicker and then sort it out. And I think we just sorted it out.
Well, and I'm not even going to tell you what I was going to
Oh,
say.
damn it. Now you're punishing me. I have done nothing wrong yet, and now I'm getting punished.
No, you're not. Well, no, only because I really was telling you just on a side. I was
Oh,
going
off the
to
record.
cut that, and then now we've turned it into a really big conversation.
Well, we're running out of fodder. I mean, what,
No,
what kind of-
we're
I'm
not.
teasing.
And I was going to cut it because the listeners don't care. That what I don't like about the email is that Marcel's emails are now getting transitioned into my social folder, not my primary folder.
Oh, that's very weird.
I think I've done all my email.
Oh God!
And
you got
I've
a bunch
done-
the most important
That's
ones.
right. I've
Yeah.
only done 30%.
Oh God! Yeah, that's uniquely frustrating.
Yeah. Thank you
Yeah.
for understanding.
I do.
Thank you.
And I think you should hate your email. I've looked at your inbox and I wanted to immediately put a gun in my mouth.
Do you want me to tell you what the number says on my phone?
Oh my God! This is for people like me. Stop listening for 1 second because this is overwhelming.
I've
in
had
my
a
opinion.
lot of people really get taken aback when they see my phone
Yeah,
because the number, what do you think the number is?
1,300.
9,400.
Oh my 9,400. I don't think I've gotten 9,000 emails in the last 7 years. What do you have to buy from Google? Like the terabyte of
One time I did run out of email space.
Of course.
Yeah. That hasn't happened in a while, but anyway.
you have to buy several terabytes probably. I would say like a percentage of the Google server is dedicated to your email. Like 1% or something. You're getting nothing but sympathy from me because I don't get a third of the emails you get. And I hate opening my email.
Yeah.
It's just all to-dos. And like
Yes.
there's never an email from a friend saying you want to go on a picnic. There's
I'm
nearly
going to send you one.
Okay, please do.
I think life was much happier without email. I will say, I really, really think that's true.
Well, right. Well, the proposition was good. It was like, this way you can deal with everything you need to deal with on your time frame, which that part rules. It's not like if you miss the call, you're fucked, right? And you don't have to constantly be calling someone and getting them on their 2 minutes.
That's
So
true.
that part was the promise and it did deliver. But what it really did is just upped the amount of interactions by 100-fold.
Yes.
On an average day before all this, I would talk to 3 people on the phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And 2 of those were friends.
Oh, no.
Those days are gone.
Far gone.
Usually you and I get out of here, and then this is what I'm met with. Do I go home and sit in front of the children and go through all these stupid fucking emails and then, partially ignore them, and
Yeah.
that's frustrating for them?
Yeah.
Or do I stay behind and sit in my car and do them all and then delay me getting home by an hour at least?
Yes. This is a hard, yeah.
Wendy Mogul, what should I do? Should I stay in my car and do all my emails and then come in and be fully available? Or should I half-ass it? What would probably be the best is that I come home and then I just spend an hour with them. I just came up with this. I think when I go home, I'm going to spend like a half hour.
I like this.
I think an hour seems like a little too big of a. I think that's a little bit of a pie in the sky pipe dream.
Okay. This
Like
is realistic
Yeah,
as
yeah.
half hour.
I just recorrect. I don't think people should set goals for themselves that are unobtainable, and I think that might be obtainable. So I'm going to say 30 minutes. I'm going to hit the stopwatch right when I walk in the door. Hey, girls, what's up? What are you doing? What'd you do today? Oh, what'd you eat? Blah blah blah. Fucking, I did this. You don't care.
Let's
Right.
wrestle.
Let's wrestle, and then pull the plug. Emails. Okay, we solved
Okay.
it.
We haven't really figured out my problem.
No, but we solved mine. I feel better about
Okay,
that.
great. So
No, I know the answer to your problem, and you're not going to like it because you're not a good delegator. You should probably have an assistant.
she doesn't know. The problem is,
Here we go. But this is what everyone says. They go, well, someone couldn't do the thing I need to do.
No.
That's the sign of a bad delegator.
Listen, I could use an assistant. I can only use her for personal need.
You sexist motherfucker. Why don't you hire a white male?
Yeah.
Not because
I gotta
they need help.
pick them up.
Not because they need help. They don't need help.
Oh, because maybe we could have a love affair?
Oh, well, that's cool too. But just the notion that you would be outranking him would be good for all white males.
I do like that.
Yeah, so why don't you get one and really boss this honky around?
I'm not outranking you, but I do boss you around already.
Oh, big time. And isn't it pleasurable? Don't you love bossing this white male around?
Yeah,
This
but I'm
entitled
already
white male?
getting that out.
Oh, okay. That's
So,
satiated.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I can't have a professional assistant because literally so much of my job is discerning what to say yes and no to.
Yeah.
I can't have somebody else do that. So I'm locked into my professional duties, but I could use some relief personally.
You should do it. I just this morning was wrestling with this whole thing. Okay. So we have help. We have help. My sister manages really everything domestic for me.
Yes.
Right. And she's awesome, but she's one person.
Yeah.
So what she does do, which is so nice, we don't have our housekeeper because of Corona, who normally does my laundry once a week. So there's no one around to do my laundry. I mean, obviously I could do my laundry, but I can't because I'm busy. Anyways,
Yeah.
I won't do it. Let's say it that way.
Right.
Maybe I could. Maybe I'm a piece of shit and I'm lazy. But the point is my sister does do the laundry, and God bless her. I'm so grateful. But she doesn't put it away. So all my laundry ends up sitting in this enormous Tower of Babel in the laundry room.
Sure.
And it's always looking like it's going to fall.
Sure.
And I am not finding the time to put that shit away.
Yeah.
That's just what's happening.
Yeah.
I've noticed week after week. Basically, what's happening is I go out of town every week for Top Gear, and that's when I will get myself to go get all those clothes from that thing.
Sure.
Anyways, this morning I was like, I gotta solve this. I have money to solve this problem, but I'm not gonna ask my sister to do it. So what I'm gonna ask, this is literally what I was thinking about this morning. I'm gonna ask my sister to hire someone that comes and puts my clothes away.
No, we can't.
Yeah, because
this is too extreme. We
Listen,
can't.
but I need someone to put my clothes away. And I don't want my sister to do it because she's got her hands full. So now I'm like, we need another person. And then I was just thinking, this is just rolling downhill. It's like,
This is so lofty.
but don't you think I'm owning it?
Yeah, but I'm just scared of this.
Yeah, I'm scared of it too, but it is the truth of my life.
I have a solution.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
I do believe in honesty. I am a full-time lead of Top Gear, and I travel every week. And we do at least 2 shows a week. And I have the real life house stuff that nobody can do but me, the mechanical stuff, the things I'm doing at the pool and the gate and the this and the that. I'm not finding, or let's put it this way. I could cut into my time with my kids and put my shit away. Or I could hire someone who wants some money to put my shit away.
I know. I'm just saying, when we talk about this, it's like,
It's gross.
it is, because I know what you're saying is all true, and you're busy, but there's also, single moms with 3 jobs. They're busier than us.
They're way
and
busier.
they
They're
have
way
to put
busier.
away their kids' clothes and their
Yeah.
clothes and cook. And,
Yeah.
we're not on the scale of nearly like too busy to handle everything. But
Let's
I mean,
really
we
get into
are.
it.
We are in
Well,
some ways. Like
no,
my
you're-
shit's not getting done.
Your shit
Yeah.
is not getting done. Your house is a fucking
It's
disaster.
a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, it's disgusting. So you just have to be realistic about it. So yes, people are working way harder than me. They have less time than me. They're also very unhappy as a result of
I
it.
agree.
And I am in a position to not make myself miserable to do some things.
I
So
agree.
I also think it'd be insane for me to eat into time with my kids when I could hire someone to do something.
I know. We just can't hire someone just to come put away your clothes.
No, that's why I brought it up.
insane.
It's preposterous.
Okay.
But I'm saying that's where my mind was at this morning. It was like, this needs to get done. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to ask Harley to do it. So what's the solution?
I have one.
What is it?
I have a really, really good one.
What is it?
Chores for your children.
Huh.
Make them put those clothes away and they can earn
Oh,
$1 or
that's
whatever.
A really good idea.
They're old enough.
Do you think I can trust them to put the shit in the right spot?
Yes, you
Okay.
teach them. You take
Yeah.
them one day and you
Okay.
take the whole
Can
thing.
I hire someone to teach them how to put this?
No.
I'm teasing.
But this is how some people delegate. They make their children do
You're
shit.
right. I'm going to do that. That's
Make
a
them
great
do it.
idea.
Thank you.
It's going to fuck everything up, and I'm going to go to pack, and the shit will not be where it's supposed to be.
For
and
maybe a couple weeks.
Uh-huh.
And then
Okay.
it'll be a learning curve.
It's a great idea.
Maybe I should make your kids go through my email.
Yeah, let's do it. I'll just teach them how to use the delete button, and then the problem will be solved.
Oh, no. Okay, so Colin.
Yes, Colin. Oh man, he was fun.
He was really fun. What a smile.
Yeah. Not in any way, shape, or form a punchable face.
No.
No.
Well, I guess if you're
I mean,
jealous.
I understand his narrative. I'm not challenging his narrative.
Does he mean because people are jealous?
He has a whole narrative that he's basically looks like a white guy that would go golfing all the time. Like you kind of want to punch him. He looks entitled. But that's not how I feel at all. As soon as I opened up the computer and looked at his face, I was like, no, this guy has a beautiful smile.
Beauty.
I can tell he's present. He's kind. He's thoughtful. He's mindful.
Yeah.
There's nothing punchable about it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't want to punch it. But, he's dating Scarlett.
They're at least engaged.
I think they're engaged.
Yeah.
And
They might be married.
maybe they're married. But Scarlett, she's put on a pedestal in male brains.
I think she's the closest in my lifetime there was to a Marilyn Monroe. Obviously, she's way more talented.
Yeah.
Like she's
she's so talented.
awesome actress.
Yes.
But she's the closest thing that I've ever seen in my lifetime that seemed to unify the most amount of males, where the most amount of my friends were like, this is consensus. We are in love with her.
Yeah. And I think it must be so interesting. We didn't talk about this much with him or really at all. She's a person.
Yeah.
She's ultimately a person, and he knows that, and he knows that more than anyone. And then he's presented as this guy who got the girl that everyone wants.
By the way, there's nothing I could relate more to. I wonder if he's at all like me, where I'm like, I don't think no one should feel like they hit the lottery. That's not
I
a good
agree.
dynamic in a relationship.
I
Like,
totally
I'll get in
agree.
all these interviews and people will be like, don't you just worship your wife? And I'm like, no, what a fucking terrible marriage it'd be if I was a fan
Exactly.
of my wife.
I totally agree.
I see her take a shit every morning. I'm not a fan. I respect her.
Yeah.
That's what I feel about her.
Yeah. But also when he was talking and stuff, and we were kind of going through his life, I was like, yeah, they're also so equal. Like he's totally incredibly attractive.
A genius.
He's so smart. He's the head writer on SNL. He's so funny. Like
There's no disparaging here.
yeah, like they found equals.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, look, good for guys. They find themselves in this position because it is ultimately a result of like the patriarchy, which is, it's very rare that you see a 10 guy getting engaged to a 4 girl, where they've got to ask the girl, like, don't you feel lucky that Brad picked you? You're a 4? Because it doesn't happen.
Right.
But there are many 10 women married to 4 guys.
Right. But that's not good.
So, but it's not good. It's just, that's why it's a well-worn trope of like, can you believe this guy got this girl? Because it's all over.
Right.
I'm not making any sense to you, am I?
Only vaguely. Mainly
Okay.
because I'm hungry.
Okay. Oh, let me glance at the progress. 7 minutes, it says.
Oh, great. Okay. So you guys talked about Howard Stern. You both love Howard Stern.
Yeah, what boy doesn't?
Yeah. And that there was a video version on E or something, and no one could really remember.
Yeah.
So E announced on May 31st, 1994, that Stern confirmed a deal with the E Network to bring his radio show, which was broadcast from WXRK at the time, to television. 6 robotic cameras were installed in a small studio at 600 Madison Avenue to film the 5-hour radio show. The best part of all this is that my genius will be seen in so many more homes now, Stern said. It's a dream come true.
My genius.
Oh my gosh.
He's so funny. Oh. Now it says 0 minutes.
Oh, it came, the 4
Fuck.
minutes flew.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to pause. Okay, we're back from lunch.
Wow, we have that we had at 4:40.
Oh, boy.
You and I are not great at staying ahead of our food needs.
No, we're
Our-
not.
Monica and I's regular routine is to show up at the attic, generally around 10 a.m., go back to back 2 recordings, and then about 3 o'clock go.
We're starving.
Have you eaten anything?
Exactly. We're not.
I guess, though, you could call that intermittent fasting, and then we'd be proud of it.
Okay, I'm proud of it.
Me too. Good job,
Great
intermittent
job.
fasting today. Oh, back to that babe, Colin.
Oh, yeah, Colin. Okay, so you said Crime and Punishment is 700 pages or something, and that The Gambler is 100 pages. 576
Okay.
and 191.
Okay.
So you're-
Well, if we add them up, I'm almost cumulatively, I was almost correct.
That's true, but you were right. There's quite a difference in length. between those.
By the way, that was the effing book. The last 4 nights in a row, I go into Audible and I'm like, what is the book I'm supposed to get? And then I just stare at it.
Crime and Punishment?
No, he recommended a third Dostoevsky book I've not read
Oh, right.
that he had said was also short,
Yeah,
but it was
he
incredible.
did.
So I need to first learn how to say Dostoevsky. Second, learn how to spell Dostoevsky so I can search Dostoevsky in Audible so I can figure out what book he was saying.
Notes from Underground.
Yeah, which I know. I know that title. I don't know. Why did that escape me? Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Monica.
You're welcome, Dax. Okay, so we talked a lot about crazy houses. So the Winterthur Museum, Garden and Library he mentions, he said he thought it was the DuPonts, and yes, was former home of Henry Francis DuPont, a renowned antique collector and horticulturist.
Bader Meinhof,
Ooh,
Frequency Illusion.
oh my God.
In yesterday's interview, I brought up the DuPonts. Remember I said, could you be a Ford or a DuPont and still be a father?
Yeah, you did.
And how often do you bring up the DuPont
My
family?
God. I don't even.
You didn't even hear
Are
that
you
part.
talking about the horticulturist?
No. Do you know what the DuPont family made?
No.
Well, they own 3M. They own everything. It's like anything high tech, but they were originally like a munitions company. The DuPont family, chemicals, so paint, all kinds of chemicals, and then munitions. So billions and billions of dollars. That Fox Catcher, that
Movie with
great
Channing?
movie,
Yeah.
is about a DuPont who killed that wrestler.
I didn't finish it.
Spoiler alert.
Wow. Big spoiler.
Well, but as a news article, can you really be mad at?
Yeah, I'll be mad.
Okay.
Why didn't they label that on this? They called him a renowned antique collector and horticulturist.
Because he's probably one of the many
Sons,
offspring.
yeah.
Like, there's been many generations of DuPonts that did nothing but go into the garden and stuff.
Oh, yeah, well-
I don't want to get sued by the DuPonts. You guys are all very industrious and everything else. But one of you did kill a wrestler.
Oh, wow.
Did you see that whole movie? It's
No,
such
I really did not finish it.
Oh, my God. I'd watch it right now.
I didn't like
You
it.
didn't like
I didn't
it?
like that's why I stopped it.
Okay.
It made me feel bad.
Yeah, that's what I like about it. It's so bleak.
Yeah.
But his embarrassing vanity and his lack of skill at anything and his aspirations to be a wrestler. I mean, it was all so embarrassing. And trying to impress his mother with her horse trophy case. Like, all that stuff is just so dark. I'm so interested
So is
in
it
it.
Steve Carell?
Yeah, Steve Carell was playing the DuPont.
Oh, he was.
But his mother was still alive, who was controlling the fortune. And he had some, I guess, responsibilities to the thing. But he had like tanks at his house and he would use the munition shit. Like he was a dum-dum.
Wow. I love Steve Carell so much.
Me too.
So Mystery Castle was the other place he was talking about. He couldn't remember the name, but then he did remember it at the end and he was correct. Mystery Castle. Except I still believe Colin. Maybe my research just isn't thorough because it's just on Wikipedia. So
Yeah.
I think he still might be right, but
You got to cut that part because someone said that you need to look somewhere other than Wikipedia. And I said, she never references Wikipedia. I got in a fight with
you
someone.
did?
Yeah. And it's always defending your honor.
Thank you, but I do look at Wikipedia.
I know, but let's just not.
Well,
Just say your research.
I'm allowed to look at it though.
I know, but this person was being critical as if that's the only thing you look at.
Okay, well, she can not listen.
That's what I should have said. Stop listening.
Just don't listen
But
then.
instead, I said that you'd never use Wikipedia.
Okay, well, anyway, from
Your
what
research.
from
What-
what I found,
Okay.
I don't want to appease that.
Okay.
I looked.
No, and now now you have to appease that to defend me.
Okay, fine.
Jeez.
Just from what I found,
Yeah. On Wikipedia.
it says after learning he had tuberculosis, his name is Boyce Luther Gully.
Oh boy.
He moved from Seattle to the Phoenix area and began building the house.
Oh, this
from
is the other
found-
guy, not the DuPont.
No,
Okay.
yeah, we're
This
moving
is
on.
the okay.
Mystery Castle.
Oh, Mystery Castle.
From founder on inexpensive materials. So that he told us about that. But remember, he said that
There was a chest of booty buried in a
and
room.
he wouldn't give it to the people, which maybe that's true. I just didn't find that. It just said he died in 1945, and the daughter and the mother had inherited the property,
Okay.
and then they moved in.
They find treasure. We're now taking bids on lot 43, pirate chest of unknown booty.
That I wish it wasn't called.
You know, they do those blind lot auctions.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
It is kind of cool. And it was said to be held together by mortar, cement, calcium, and goat milk.
Oh.
And it was 18 rooms, 3 stories, built from a wide range of materials: stone, adobe, automobile parts, salvaged rail tracks from a mine, telephone poles. It had a chapel, cantina, and a dungeon.
It feels like it would take someone 80 years to do this.
I know. But anywho.
We should go
I don't
see
see anything
that.
about crystals. Yeah.
Want to go see that and do a live report?
Yes. I would
As we
love
tour
to.
it.
I would love to.
What if we find the booty? Pirate's booty. What if we find Pootie?
Oh, we're probably going to find Pootie
Yeah.
in there. Yeah.
I'm
for
sure some of the quote mud and mortar is
Yeah, and
Pootie.
quote
is like
goat milk.
is coyote Pootie.
Or human Pootie.
Yeah.
Okay, so who did the National Lampoon sell to? They sold to a company called J2 Communications in 91.
Okay.
Colin's anime show, Kappa Mikey. I remember he said he thought a play on Kappa Maki, which he thought was a sushi. It is a sushi. It's a cucumber roll. Cucumber rolls in Japan are called Kappa Maki. And it's one of the most popular sushi rolls. Very easy to make. Just 3 ingredients: seaweed, sushi rice, and cucumber. No fish.
I just had the funnest fantasy of a sushi chef in Tokyo passively listening to this program while preparing sushi and then heard that you got that wrong. And then he threw his knife against the wall. That was the fantasy I just had.
Wow. Oh my God.
Like if we had gotten it wrong. Because it's like a religion, right? The sushi set. Oh my God, dude. I never went. Sushi chef sells seashores down by the seashells.
Well, do you think it's the guy from the
Oh,
dog?
Hero loves sushi?
Hero Dreams of Sushi? Is he alive still?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay,
A
well, I
very
hope
healthy
it's
diet.
him and he's listening.
Oh, that would be great.
Yes, I would
Although
love
we're
it.
so sorry that she mispronounced it or got the item wrong.
Oh, yeah.
In my fantasy, you had messed up.
Yeah, you want me to
somehow.
mess this up.
No, I don't.
I didn't find that info from Wikipedia.
Where'd you find it from?
Another
Sushi.com?
source. I don't know. Another source.
Sushi.org?
The internet. Okay, so you were talking about a cult guy who then did like a hang gliding. But I think you said hand gliding.
Oh, I'm sure I did. I think it's called hand gliding.
Okay, yeah, so that's just one I want to make clear.
It's called hang gliding?
Hang gliding, and paragliding. They're both foot-launched glider aircraft. And in both cases, the pilot is suspended, hangs below the lift surface. But hang glider is the default term for those where the airframe contains rigid structures.
So you can see where I thought it made sense that it was called hand glider because
Sure.
you're holding with your hands this glider.
Yeah.
You know, I'm caught between embarrassed and then I'm still 45 and there's lots of words that I think are one
Yes.
thing. And then equally excited by continued revelations because it's kind of fun.
I think it's so fun and it's good to correct it, right? So then you can have learned.
I guarantee I'm going to see my mom tomorrow night. I'm going to ask her what that's called. And I bet dollars a donut she's going to say hang gliding.
Dollars to donut.
Because I think at least half of my wrong words are from her.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, they
yeah.
get passed along. You should hear her say throat. Next time she's here, I'm going to have her say throat for you.
What does it sound like?
I almost don't want to ruin it, but it's throat.
What?
I have a sore throat.
No.
Yeah, it's like she really hits the A. And she pronounces both vowels.
Sore throat.
Throw it.
Sore throat?
Throw it, yeah. And my brother does too.
Your brother has a sore throat?
I don't know that he currently has a sore throat, but if he had one, he would pronounce it that way. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's like, so Kristen says something really weird, and I'm always like, she
Oh,
doesn't
tell
know
me,
how to
'cause-
say that. But I actually think she might be right.
I'd be excited if you knew one because thus far the score count in our relationship is like 300 words to 0. I've pointed out she's saying wrong.
Okay, it's the word,
Uh-oh.
I say it cupboard.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely.
Like a
That's
cupboard.
how I say it. Go in the wait, say it again.
I say, go get me some cereal from the cupboard.
Yeah, great.
Okay, she says cupboard.
Well, that's how it's spelled.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I've always been like, she's wrong. But then I
Cuckold.
realized recently it's spelled the way she says it.
Mm-hmm.
So who's right?
Is it often or often?
It's often.
No, I know, but I'm saying, is this a situation where the
Oh.
T is silent? Is the P
Actually
the
pronounced
pootie-
kind of B.
is the pootie silent on this one? Is it just ooty?
Well, the listeners can tell us after they berate me for being on Wikipedia.
It's not going to happen because you're not going to sell me. You're not going to throw me under the bus.
I feel annoyed, of course, by that. Wait a minute. It's also spelled cupboard. Cupboard. That's how I say it. And it's spelled that. Yeah.
I thought you were saying cupboard. I thought you were throwing a T at the end the first time you said it, and I was going to say no. It's definitely not cupboard.
No, cupboard.
Cupboard, yeah. Go in the cupboard. Go in the cupboard.
Okay, so I do think Kristen's wrong now.
Oh, great. We should have a big celebration. When we get home tonight, let's run in the door laughing and pointing at her face.
Yeah,
her
that's-
mouth specifically.
Cupboard.
You said a word wrong finally.
Speaking of Pootie, you guys are both saying how his poop story was a set piece, and I don't think everyone knows what a set piece is. I think you should tell people.
Yeah, so when you're watching a comedy and the guy, I'll give you a prime example if you've seen this movie, The Money Pit. So there's a bunch
Most
of,
people have not seen that. You need a bit of,
but it'll still
like,
work.
What about the
It'll
Hangover?
still work.
Okay.
So in the Money Pit, they're restoring this old house, and there's all these workers working on the house. Shelley Long goes to plug in the coffee maker. She has to unplug an extension cord, and then you see that the extension cord was attached to a guy's saw who was in the middle of sawing. So when he stops sawing, he loses his balance, and then she plugs the saw back in when he's fallen, and now the saw cuts the piece of wood. The saw falls through the wood. It hits like a wheelbarrow. The wheelbarrow pops up. That shoots something through the window. That hits another thing. All of a sudden, a bathtub drops through the ceiling where Shelley Long's at. That's a set piece. Like one thing happens, which causes another thing happens, which causes another. Or how about this? Chips, there's a set piece.
Okay.
So in Chips, I'm in a lot of pain because it's raining out, and I have to get young Poncherella to carry me to the tub, and I'm naked. So it's already starting. Now, he's in this situation where he's got to carry a naked man. He's already not liking it. Then he trips on my sheet.
Yep.
Then he falls forward. And when he falls forward, his face crashes into my penis.
Yeah.
And then I continue on and I smash into the wall and I fall into the bathtub.
That's right.
That's a set piece.
Yes, and the technical def is in film production, a set piece is a scene or sequence of scenes whose execution requires complex logistical planning and considerable expenditure of money.
True. And then, of course, they exist in action movies, too. It's like the guy.
And novel, plays, films, music.
Okay, I didn't know about music. I don't understand
Piece
that.
of music, but we're not going to get into that today.
Okay.
That's all.
That was great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Wikipedia. Bye.
Love you.